Hello and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. So I did a little bit of an oof. There was no audio recording when I made this video, so we're gonna do a voiceover, which I absolutely hate, but you know what, things go wrong sometimes. So we're going to start off by expanding our grand military. We have a lot of military factories open after the successful invasion and annexation of Europe, so let's go ahead and make sure that we're using all of the power we have, because we're going to be, well, taking over the world, I guess. This is going to take quite a while, so let's just skip to when it's all done. So I actually have a bit of a plan. I'm thinking that if we were to get India to join us, then with India and Russia on our side, we could actually hit China from both sides and take them. I know people have been telling me that taking over China would be suicide, but I think if we were to hit them from both sides, it would not be the end of the world. I think we could actually pull that off. So maybe, just maybe, if we push them towards our side ideologically, we could make this work. We'll see. Because of the proximity of Ukraine to us and Russia, I think that the best idea will be to take them next. It'll also give us an easy way to get into Russia for both invading China and eventually invading Russia, because we do want their oil at some point. At the same time, I'm thinking that we're also going to want to take Peru, because Peru is another large country in South America that we can take advantage of. And so we're just going to do it, because what are they going to do? We've got the entire continent pretty much. To ensure that we don't have any supply issues, for example, if we are nuked by Ukraine, although I really doubt Ukraine has any nukes, or if for some reason this becomes an even larger war and people hop in and nuke me, I just want to make sure that we have adequate infrastructure, so I'm going to build up a line of infrastructure through Europe to make sure that we don't run out near Ukraine. I really doubt we'll have issues with it, but running out of supplies is honestly the worst thing ever. So let's make sure it doesn't happen. Okay, here we are. We are just about ready. There we are, to declare war on Ukraine. So let's get this over with, and we will push in. Hopefully Russia will do the same. We're just going to save very quickly in case something bad happens. And let's do this. Declare war. Send. So we are now at war. We're just going to push in as hard as we can from the left. Looking good, and it looks like they have called in Lithuania, which is going to make things slightly more complicated, because now we're going to have to split our army a bit to cover them up north. That's fine though, we do have a bit of an extra army, so we can just send them over. We're going to have to get rid of the current orders, though, and set their front line up there. We should be safe now. We may have to move some more. Oh, would you look at that? The United Kingdom has declared war on us. Now, this is going to make things a little bit more interesting. Now, we have a major world power on the stage, so we have to be very careful about our planning and make sure that they aren't able to get to Vooperia and take back Europe. So, we're going to have to look into our navy very strongly in the future. With the war in Ukraine going so well, for a start, we're going to focus on messing with our good friends, the United Kingdom, who will hopefully be liberated and join our empire. But that means that we're going to have to cut off their supplies and make sure they can't invade us, so we're going to put a superior naval force nearby. Hopefully this is enough ships to send over. We do have some very trained militaries from all of our wars in the past. Sadly, Europe does hold the Gibraltar Strait, which causes our trade routes to all have to go under Africa, which is very inefficient, but what can we do? Yeah, that's going to be annoying. Hopefully we can take the English Channel. That's honestly going to be our main goal against Europe, at least to start before we invade them over the English Channel. By moving some navies over, we should be able to handle things. Oh shoot, we never actually invited Russia to the war. That may explain why Ukraine hasn't yielded to us yet. Let's let them join us, and then we should be able to sandwich them from both sides. Yeah, this is going well. So as we push from the west and Russia pushes from the east, I have a good feeling that this war is going to end quickly. Well, Lithuania is causing some damage for us, and Russia is actually being completely surrounded by them. They are not going to let us win easily, but that's fine. We are pushing back against them. Looks like there's a little bit of an earthquake in Italy, but what can you do? We're not fighting in Italy. It shouldn't hamper the war effort. England is fighting back. Their navy is certainly fighting hard, and the death tolls are getting to both sides of the war. However, we have far less deaths, so I'm pretty confident that we're going to be fine. Lithuania is fighting... Oh! Europe! Well, not Europe. The United Kingdom has decided to nuke Europe, and because of that, I am going to respond with nuclear arms. Now, if they hadn't done anything, I feel like I could win this war without any nuclear weapons, but they have pulled the trigger, and so will I. So let's go and figure out what planes we can send over to give us an advantage in air superiority. First, we're going to give our air wings to our generals so that they can use them in their ground fights, but then we're going to assign some strategic bombers to help us out in the nuking. So now we should have superiority up in the English lands. And we do, so we are going to drop some nukes on them in retaliation for the nuke they dropped on us. Maybe it's a little bit overkill, but I want to make sure that we shatter their infrastructure, at least in southern England, and especially their ports where they're likely amassing their armies right now. It can never hurt to be safe. Although the radiation can hurt quite a bit. But thankfully the radiation isn't going to be affecting us yet. Hopefully it's cleaned up by the time we invade. Looks like we have a majority of the war effort. Things are going well for us right now. Lithuania still fighting hard considering how small of a country they are compared to us. We may be able to move some more men over to them, which I think we're actually doing right now. And at the same time, the Ukraine war is going fairly well. We are taking some land from them, and Russia is pushing from the east. However, they're losing many of the battles. Russia isn't actually being too useful right now. I was expecting them to be a little bit more of a pivotal member in this war, but I guess that we are kind of far more powerful than Russia. Yeah, Ukraine is getting very squashed, and Lithuania is starting to fall back. If we keep things going in this direction, we should be able to make it out on top. Hopefully. And it looks like the naval battles around England are going well, with us holding the majority of the seas. The war effort is actually going quite nicely. Lithuania is yielding, and Ukraine has been absolutely shattered. There's a small pocket of resistance here, but let's take care of that real quickly. We'll just push them out of the way. There isn't much left for them to do. Hopefully Russia will help us out now. Yeah, they are pushing, but not nearly as hard as we are. It's kind of disappointing, Russia. But you know what? We are doing a good job, and overall, I think Ukraine is going to capitulate soon. I'm actually surprised that Lithuania is going to last longer than them. So, our navies are actually going back to Florida to repair, but you know what? I don't blame them. They've been in some pretty intense fighting, and the English boats are actually coming to our coast, and looks like they're attacking some of our convoys, which could do some damage. But I'm more concerned with the English Channel right now. That's priority number 1. And we do have it, and we have it by a very high margin right now. So as long as we can keep that under control, maybe get a bit of air superiority in the area, I think we're going to be fine. We're just dropping a few more nukes on London and other English cities now because they have actually nuked us again. But we will fight back, and it looks like Russia is helping out as well. Lithuania still pushing back Ukraine. They are not going to last much longer. They don't have much. Not much at all. Checking on their army. Everything's going well at the moment. I'm not going to mess with them. They're doing a good job. But we do have the ability to declare war on Peru, who is helping them out. Hopefully the rest of South America doesn't get involved. Let's go ahead. Let's do this. Hail Vooperia. Okay, and we're at war. So, let's just get our men started, and... Oh, that's a lot of red, actually. I expected things to go a little bit smoother with the war on Peru. Maybe I underestimated their ability. It looks like they actually do have quite a few divisions. Needless to say, I think we're going to be fine. I think we're just going to have to maybe use a little bit of a nuclear deterrent at some point. I guess we'll leave our men fighting. I don't think they'll take any ground. I think they're just going to keep us from taking ground for a bit. There aren't many supplies in that area, so the attrition should get to them. Hopefully. I'm just going to quickly clean up the orders for the army. I had some men over to the north just in case more South American countries declared war on us. But since that isn't happening, it makes more sense to have everyone focused on Peru. At the same time, let's go ahead and draw an offensive line to make sure that we are going to take their capital. And let's let them go. But first, we're just going to get a little bit of air support in there. Although we are out of planes to use, we are using all of them against England right now. So it looks like we're going to have to look around to find planes to use against them. And that's fine, just a little bit of shifting around of resources. Okay, so in Europe, things are still going well. I think we still have a large, oh boy, they nuked us again. Well, that's an issue. Ukraine has capitulated, which means that we have split it between Russia and Vooperia, and we can actually grab our air wings from over there and help them, have them help out in the war over in England. Let's just send our men over to one of the biggest open, hangars, and let's hope that we can send them all over to where they can do the most damage. Let's send them to northern England, where no one has yet really touched. Actually, Russia appears to be helping out in Scotland and Ireland, so if we can take northern England, let's just get like half of them. We don't want everyone to be focused on this one area. So if we grab them and we set them all to the south, and then we take the rest and set them all to the north. There we go, we have control of all English airspace, and now we should be able to retaliate when it comes to nuclear arms. But first, let's get a few more planes in there to make sure that they don't take superiority back. Sending them to northern England again to help out in the nuking, and some to Ireland. So it looks like Russia is doing a bit of damage, but we are the biggest nuclear superpower in the world. So it looks like things are going well in Lithuania. That's always good. That should make it a lot simpler. Peru, even though our men are having trouble, we are actually pushing past them. Very slowly, that is. They've actually done more damage to us than any other country thus far. That's pretty, unexpected. I did not expect Peru to be the largest issue here. They have quite a few divisions for their seemingly, small area, so I probably should have been a little bit more careful when declaring war on them. Nonetheless, I think with a little bit of a nuclear deterrent, we can keep them back and secure victory for Vooperia. So let's just drop a few nukes just to get them to go away. We should be able to shatter their army. There we go. And our men move in. Okay. We're moving in rather quickly now. That gives me a little bit of faith. Oh, Lithuania has capitulated. Fantastic. That means nobody is left in Europe. Now it's just the UK versus Europe. Let's just clear up these little pockets of resistance. It looks like Russia is going to do the same. Oh, they're actually fighting back. Well, let's send some more. I mean, they're not doing anything else, are they? So if we just take these little pockets of Lithuania to make sure that there's no real resistance, we can then focus all of our efforts in the east on the United Kingdom, who, I'm not gonna forget, we still owe a few nukes to. Looks like we have one guy just stranded in Greece. It's kind of funny. Peru is falling back, but I think with a little bit more of a deterrent, we can force their hand. There we go, just a few more bombs to go. Break their entire line at once, and maybe, just maybe, it looks like they are falling back. I think we have this now. I mean, we're pushing them back into the mountains. Attrition should start to hurt. Looks like we're actually having supply problems too, but I'm not too worried about it. It looks like we are actually pushing them back a fair amount. They're getting a little bit on the thin side, which means that they have less men, but they have to still cover the same amount of border, which is a real disadvantage to them. We can take advantage of stretching them out like that, considering our army is definitely larger than theirs. Now they're just a little sliver. I think we can take this, so let's focus back on England. We have some open military factories. Let's just assign it to main battle tanks. Those are basically our main weapon. We have a bit of research to do. Okay, it looks like the end of the Peruvian war now. I think that we have them cornered down enough that we can actually take this. Like, take it. I don't think there's much they can do to stop us now. They've got their capital, and that's really all they've got. Once we have this taken care of, we can focus pretty much all of our resources on England, which, sorry England, I do not think you can take us. We kind of consist of pretty much every single world superpower except for you, and China, and India. Because China and India, they're later. I'm not quite ready for that yet. The deaths are staggering. It's pretty high up there. But you know what? We are still majority not losing, you know. They have far more deaths than we do, and most of the deaths on our side are actually Russia. But most of the losses we've had were to Peru, but Peru is actually taking a lot more damage now as we get rid of the last little pockets of resistance. They have their capital there, but not for long. Here it goes. I think we can push them out. They shouldn't have enough resources to keep fighting. Their capital is literally all that's left. I believe in us. Okay, so it looks like Russia is actually planning a large amount of invasions on UK and its islands. That's actually very convenient. They'll do a lot of the work for us. Okay, cool. So when it comes to London, that's probably going to be where we want to target when it comes to us taking them. We should actually get a naval invasion set up at some point. It looks like our Navy is doing a good job at holding them back. We do have a majority. Maybe we'll send some backup in the future, but it doesn't seem necessary quite yet. So I've actually found an army, navy over near Brazil with 180 ships, so I've sent them over to help out over in the English naval battles, and they are doing a very good job. We have about 300 ships in the water now, and I don't think there is any chance of the United Kingdom having a naval advantage now. We do have an issue, though. I was planning on carrying out a few naval invasions on the United Kingdom, but we actually don't have enough convoys to do so. So in the future, I am actually going to shift over a lot of our naval production to convoys and hope that we can go through with these invasions. I'm not sure we have enough convoys to do so, though. We'll have them get ready, but we may never actually have them do it. Maybe we'll just piggyback off of Russia, because they have a lot of invasions planned, so we'll see how it goes. So, Russia is actually planning many, and they're actually starting to carry out their naval invasions, and I have never seen naval combat on this scale. The amount of ships we are taking out is monumental. I don't know how long England can hold out with our navy this superior. Considering they're an island nation, I'm assuming they're running out of supplies right about now, and Russia is going to start making landfall whether they like it or not. I don't know how successful they'll be, and I may actually let Russia do a little bit more work than they have to. I may not give them too much support with nuclear arms, because I kind of want Russia to weaken. I want them to be strong enough to fight China, but I don't want them to be strong enough to fight me. So with Russia, we have a very touchy relationship. We don't want them to be a danger to us when we want to take them over, but we do want them to be just powerful enough to be useful. Well, we will help them take this little island, though. I don't see any issue with that. When it comes to the mainland, though, maybe I want to take it. That would give me a little bit more war score, but if they really put a really nice invasion in, I'll support them, because why not? I mean, at that point, it would be kind of mean not to. So, we're about to attempt our naval invasions. Let's see. I don't think we have enough convoys, though. No, we don't. So, this is going to be kind of depressing. We have our men ready, but we're going to have to let Russia do the work. Our navy's been hit a little bit too hard. That ship is also spazzing. Interesting. It would appear that Russia has made landfall in the UK. They are pushing very hard, so I think I'm just going to let them go with it, because this is going to end the war at this rate. Let's just get a little bit of research done. We are so far ahead. There's really not much left for us to research, but we will try. Planes. How about the next UCAV? That'll make me happy. Wow, when it comes to the losses, we are actually very, 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 very low. Russia is taking quite a few, but they are doing a land invasion, so I don't really blame them. But will this be successful? It looks like it will. And they have plans to come from all over the place, so if this doesn't work, something's going to. We can't send our men over. We don't have enough convoys to do so. I wish we could. Maybe it's just that unit, though. Let's try. See if a non-setup unit... No, it's not going to let us do it. So, it looks like Russia is going to be on their own here. But once again, that's okay. They're doing a fine job. I'm not too worried. I'm somewhat worried. Look at all the planes. Holy moly. There they go. Nope, they're doing a good job. They are pushing through. Once they take London, this should be over. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the war score for me too much. Yeah, they're pulling they're pulling their weight now. They are really pushing that war score back. It's probably going to be about even by the time we're done, but I'm fine with it as long as I get Peru and England. They can have Ukraine and Lithuania. I think that would be fair. Let's just raise our stability. Wow, our stability isn't too bad considering we're in a offensive war. And we're almost there. London. Come on, Russia. For this is a good practice for you before you go to war with China, because we're going to force you into that too. And India. We are playing quite the game here. Let's help them out getting into Russia. Not Russia. London. What's the difference? I'm joking. There is clearly a difference. One is a continent, one is a state, obviously. There we are. London has fallen. I think things are about to go oh, no, it hasn't quite fallen. There it is. Okay. That's it. The war is over. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to take as much of England as possible and Peru. And let's see if we can do that. It would appear we were successful. We were able to take England and we were able to take Peru mostly. For some reason, Russia decided to free Scotland and make it Russian. So, you know, I can settle for that. That seems fair enough. I'm not going to complain. I did just get another major world power into my country. Actually, another two. And I was able to get a little bit of Ukraine as well. If we keep growing at this rate, there should be no world powers left soon. It'll just be Vooperia. And it looks like England's doing pretty well too. Out in the middle of nowhere on a tiny little island. Isn't that beautiful? Well, England, this is why you don't fight. The Vooperians. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry if this is a little bit different than normal. It definitely takes a whole lot more work. I will see you all next time. Hail Vooperia!